Everybody, thanks for joining me as we take a look at your work week forecast for October 2nd through the 6th. And weather's going to feel more like late August than September for a lot of this week. We're going to see some 80s, probably our last shot at 8. Well, not necessarily, but most likely our last shot at 80s. Probably our last summer-like feel week, at least extended stretch of weather. You never know. We can certainly get days like this through October, even into early November sometimes if everything works out right. But in general, we're not going to see too many more of these. So if you like this kind of weather, and I'm sure you're liking it, then try to make sure you enjoy this week. So let's take a look at what's going on here across the country. Sorry about that. You can see we have kind of a big, you can kind of see the circular motion here, particularly this motion here. This is a big upper level ridge. I'll show you that on the upper level in a little bit. We do have a low pressure system off the southeastern coast. And we've got a low kind of situated basically over the Four Corners region of the southwestern United States. That makes an omega block. I'll show you that a little bit better. It's easier to see on the upper level. But in general, the weather pattern is very slow moving currently, although it is moving a little bit. And we are situated right in the dry portion of the forecast. So for places that didn't see rain last Friday, kind of north, mostly north of, I usually think of my forecast areas about up to Rutland and across over to like Heartland and kind of Killington and anything north of that. Didn't really see much rain last week. We're going to be going pretty much 2 weeks without rain. And this time of year, that can mean just to be a little more cautious with the burning because you start to get leaves on the ground and things dry out. We have obviously been very wet for most of the year. However, some of that, you can kind of get some of that surface areas of the woods to get a little dry for a little bit of time. That can cause a little bit of brush fire issue. Mostly that's a spring thing around here, but it can happen this time of year. And a stretch of weather like this is when that is possible. We are going to be dry. We will build humidity later in the week, which will take that chance away. Not super humid, but we will definitely build some humidity. And then eventually we're going to have a front move through, but not until next weekend. And maybe a storm with that'll bring some rain and an end to our dry and warm weather. All right. As you can see, surface reflection here, we got a huge high pressure system and kind of a series of high pressure systems located across the eastern part of the United States. We have thunderstorms kind of dying here over the Great Lakes. They may throw some clouds in our direction, like overnight tonight. Not enough to really be paying attention to, but we don't know moisture associated with this, and then no really any moisture anywhere near us for the foreseeable future, at least during the week here. So let's see that upper level low or upper level pattern. Here's your big ridge across the eastern part of the United States. You can see we're on the eastern edge of it. The pattern is moving slowly, so the ridge is going to move. This is definitely, you can see, classic, looks like the Greek letter omega, or like kind of like a cowboy hat kind of thing. This is called an omega block because it looks like the Greek letter omega. And it just whenever you kind of see this pattern in the upper levels, it usually means that the whole pattern is not moving particularly quickly. And that'll be true, although this is slightly moving, this is moving a little bit. And so what happens here is when we're on the eastern side of the ridge here, our flow is still kind of coming out of the north. So it is still relatively warm though, because even though our flow is coming out of Canada currently, it is it's air that's been moved into Canada that's been kind of from the desert southwest. It's pretty warm. So through the week, though, as we transition, we'll eventually end up under the center of the ridge when you're warm and dry. And then when you get to the western part of the of this ridge, which will eventually be more like the end of the week, Thursday into Friday, you get a little bit more humidity as you start to move some southeastern air into New England here. But before we will have a pretty good front and potentially storm associated with it approach the area for next weekend. Unfortunately, timing is not great on that, but enjoy the week. So let's see what we're looking at in terms of work week weather. Today it's going to be above average temperatures all week, particularly middle of the week. Friday might be a little bit cooler because of some extra clouds, but basically 70s all week except for Wednesday and Thursday. I think we see 80 both days, maybe 85 degrees Bennington and up to Manchester, kind of Route 7 area, and Brattleboro as well. Yeah, real warm. That's probably 15 degrees above average for this time of year. Low temperature is not even that. A little chillier this morning, but still, that's actually above average for a low temperature, and those will stay relatively warm as well. It's a pretty warm pattern we are in currently. Let's take a quick look at that work week highlight. Dry weather continues through the week. Full sun with the exception of a few clouds on Friday. Temperatures well above average for the middle of the week. A front approaches at the end of the week, and a front and storm should bring an end to our dry weather over at the weekend. So yeah, that front and storm is the next impactful weather, and like I said, timing on that is still undetermined. It could be as early as Friday night. That's probably the earliest it would happen. It could be as late as Saturday into Sunday. Yeah, we'll have to wait a couple more days to see exactly what the pattern, exactly how fast the front moves towards us. But it looks pretty certain that we will see a change to the weather basically heading through the weekend. And on the backside of that, we might get some fall-like weather. So there you go. That's what we're looking for. Certainly, as the weather starts to get a little more exciting as we head towards winter, you should subscribe to my YouTube channel because it helps make sure you don't miss any of my videos. I do want to give a quick shout out to my patrons. They help support what I do here at the West River Weather Guy. Sorry, I actually got to put their names up. There we go. They help support what I do here at the West River Weather Guy. I really appreciate their support. And like I said, I will be back on Friday this week. And as the weather gets more exciting, as we start to deal with snow and things like that, or any other impactful weather as we head towards the later into the fall, I'm here not just on Mondays and Fridays, but when that happens with extra forecasts. All right. Thanks for following me, and I will see you on Friday.